In this video, we're going to be talking about Newton's laws being applied to martial arts, specifically the first three of Newton's laws applied. Okay, so Newton's first law states that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. So the example we're going to use states that when fighting, when a person is hit, they are being acted on by an outside force that pushes them to move in that reaction to that. If a person was not hit, then they are at rest and will stay at rest until they are hit. So for what we're going to draw is if a person kicks you in the face. So they're going to have their leg up, kick. So this person right here gets kicked in the face. And when they get kicked, they're being acted upon by a force which is going to move them. So they're going to go from this kick, they're going to get moved, and they will most likely fall back because they just got hit by that force because the force is moving them. But if they're kicked, after that kick, if the person misses, then the person is not being acted upon by a force at all, so they will not move at all. They won't even hit it, so no force hits them. Okay, so for the second law, it states the sum of the force can be found through multiplying the mass and the acceleration, and the equation for that is F equals ma, which is force equals mass times acceleration. So the example we're going to use is if someone were to hit a person with a lot of mass and at a fast speed, there will therefore be a greater force than if someone were to hit a person with a slower acceleration with less mass. So for our picture example, think about if you were to slap someone. So if you slap someone in the face and you do it with all your power, then the force is going to be greater because you used a greater mass and a greater force for it. But if you were to slap someone gently or without anything, then there's going to be less of a force because you barely wound up your arm to hit them than if you were to really swing it, which is going to mean like it would hurt less than if you were to put a lot of power into it. So for our third law, it states that when a force is exerted on something, the second thing exerts a force that is equal in magnitude and opposite direction than the first body. So our example states that a person hitting a face and the reaction would be the person hitting the ground due to the force of the punch. So we're going to draw a nice little picture here of a person getting kicked in the face. So you kick your leg, bam, that is a nice leg kick. And you hit this person and it's going to knock them back because of the force. So they're pretty shocked. Bam. So the next thing that's going to happen is the reaction that you would see because of this kick. So because of this kick, you'll see you've already, you kicked your leg, you put your foot down, you're watching it all happen, and this person is going to be laid out on the ground next to you, and they're going to probably be in shock. And they might put their hand on their face because they're like, oh my gosh, you just hit me in the face. But they're going to be laid out because the force is knocked them on the ground.